Let's talk about the key economic reports from next week. Share a quote from Warren Buffett that really doesn't make you feel good about the US economy. Talk about Binance, Biden, and what might be happening with interest rates. Folks, this is the daily financial news for July 15th, Saturday, July 15th. Again, I no longer record on Fridays or Saturdays unless there's an exception like last week. But we still do the daily financial show. I still do my reading. I still take my notes, and I'd love to share with you what I was reading. Let's get started with just the week ahead. Right off on Monday, we will get a manufacturing survey. There has been some early indications, I think, that manufacturing is starting to limp along. We will be looking to see if this number is sub 50. Yes, folks, again, 50 is growing in the reports and sub 50 is contraction. Not to be outdone, we get a couple of key reports on Tuesday. We will get retail sales. Frankly, this is probably one of the last reports that could come in significantly negative that might give the Fed pause. I do think at this point, 10 days away, the Fed is on track to give us a quarter point. I think I've been clear. I think it's a mistake. I think it will be the straw that breaks the back. It might break something and cause a black swan, but that really doesn't matter. They seem set to do it. That said, if the retail sales numbers come in significantly weaker, it might just be enough to cause a pause, but I don't know. I'm going to hold my guns, say a pause is the right answer, but it certainly doesn't feel like we are going that direction. We will also get home builder confidence. It should be just fine, but we will see. Wednesday, housing starts. What I'll be looking at there, if housing starts, obviously we get new construction for homes and multifamily in one big number. We will be looking at single family housing starts. And then Thursday, we get weekly unemployment claims. Perhaps if we get a weak retail sales and a surprising jump in unemployment claims, maybe that will be enough to cause the Fed to pause, but we shall see. And then Thursday, existing home sales. Existing home sales will be very interesting to see. Are we still kind of, low 4 millions, or do we break below that? These are things that we will be watching. How about good old Warren Buffett? Warren Buffett, obviously a great American investor. He put out a quote the other day talking about all the companies that he owns, and basically extrapolated it to say that the majority of companies to report lower earnings than last year. Sorry about that, fighting off a sneeze. Again, I'll say it just in case I blocked myself. Majority of companies to report lower earnings than last year. Again, it certainly feels like these interest rates are having an impact. There is a delay in the impact, but yes, we will be moving forward. Don't know if you heard about this, but apparently, obviously, the Hollywood writers are on strike. Now the actors are on strike. It does appear that the UPS Teamsters may go on strike. I don't know if you know this, but SAG, which is the actors union, has 160,000 members. They are now on strike. The Teamsters working with UPS will be 340,000. So those two, one is on strike, one is a potential strike, could be 500,000 folks on strike. So again, something to watch. Biden did throw his support behind the Hollywood actors, not to be surprised. Again, it's something I shared with you last week that I thought would be coming in. I still think the biggest question about the UPS Teamster strike is, will Biden get involved? And I think Biden gets involved. I think Biden calls for some kind of pause and regrouping. I do think he personally will get involved with the UPS strike. We shall see. I don't know if you saw this, but it looks like Binance is laying off potentially up to 3,000 employees. Binance, obviously being a crypto exchange, under the thumb of the DOJ. Looks like they are punishing bad actors. I wonder if punishing bad actors will clear the room for the good ones. I think you and I would agree that crypto was full of fraud and scammers and just horrible individuals. But that said, there is some green shoots of goodness, not only on the technology side, but there are some good actors. It was just unfortunate that it became a money grab and a era of pump and dump and rug pulls and just total fraud. But we shall see. Consumer sentiment on Friday came in at 672.6, 72.6. Why is that important? It is the highest reading in quite a while, and the expectation was only 65. So consumer expectation is rising. As inflation falls, consumer expectations, or sentiment, I should say, consumer sentiment is rising. Don't know if you saw this, but I was lucky enough to be featured on Ryan Pineda's event, or Ryan Pineda's YouTube channel. It went live, I think, Friday morning. Do me a favor, go check it out, leave a comment. I have been going back there and responding to comments, so if you want to leave one, that would be great. Thank Ryan for having me on. He certainly doesn't have to do that. He is, a very successful young man. So having me on the channel was a great pleasure and a true joy. So thank you, Ryan, for the opportunity to chop it up and have some fun. We got some calls about interest rates that I thought I would share. First, the co-founder of Remax. The co-founder of Remax thinks we will be between 6.5% and 7% for the next 18 months, to which I say, I hope he's right. Folks, it has become very clear to me that we need higher rates to buy us time to get to the other side. If, on the other hand, Lawrence Yun, chief economist of National Association of Realtors, so I'm certain he's not biased one bit. That was a joke, by the way. He thinks rates will be closer to 6% by the end of 2023. If we get in the low sixes, I think demand pulls up, right? Right now in the housing market, we are dealing with the edges. It's called the marginal buyer. Right now, the marginal sellers, they're not impacted, right? 7%, 6% doesn't matter to the marginal seller. Buyer, it does. It's become clear that people don't like 7, but they get excited at 6, something with a 6, and certainly get really excited sub 6. So that's interesting. Finally got a report from Lance Lambert. At least that's who I saw it from, Lance Lambert. It might have been Morningstar. I forget who he referenced, so I apologize. I should have written that down, and I didn't. Guess how many markets out of the top 200 showed a month-on-month decline in May? Again, top 200 markets in the country for the month of May, month-on-month. 2%. 2% of markets showed a decline. Just for comparison's sake, in September of 2022, 158 markets had monthly decline. This is exactly what you saw when we talked to Beth Traverso and Omar and Adrian. Is last year the real estate market stopped as we got to 7% the first time. What we are seeing now is buyers are clearly comfortable with 6%. They just are. The data shows it. And they're getting comfortable with high 6s. We will get existing home sales on Thursday of this week, so we will see just how comfortable, but very, very interesting. Alex Hormozi came out with a great tweet. If you don't follow Alex Hormozi, I think you should. He basically said, this took me 22 years to figure this out. Rich is income. Wealth is assets. Folks, that's something I've said repeatedly over the last several years. I have been lucky enough to work with folks that made 6 figures and multiple 6 figures, but couldn't pay their bills, or they were nervous about paying their bills. This is about owning assets. I believe getting wealthy, according, just like Alex Hormozi said, it's about wealth. It's 3 steps. Create dry powder or disposable income. It's optional capital that you can do with. Then become an elite at something. If you need help becoming elite at real estate investing, there is no better course than my How to Get Started One Rental at a Time. It is ridiculously cheap at $399. And today I'm giving you $100 in free goodies. You can go to my site and pick 2 additional courses. If you really want to step up your game, you can take the mentoring option, which includes 30 minutes of one-on-one time with yours truly. And I will give you $450 of free goodies. This will not last long. I am making these updates as we go. That will be going to $999, and the base course will likely be going to $499. So again, prices are going up. Get it now and get your free goodies. Anything else I want to talk about today? Nope, I think that's it, folks. This is the daily financial news for Saturday, July 16th. I hope you have an amazing day. Join the channel, like, subscribe, comment. Check out the 9-10 millionaires we come back. Go to my website, onerentalatatime.com, and get your 53-year spreadsheet. I'm still shocked more of you haven't done that. That 53-year spreadsheet was how I called the 40% crash in housing transactions. Do yourself a favor, study 1980, 1981, 1982, and go into the spreadsheet and simply answer this question. After 1981's peak in housing transactions, how long did it take to get back to that peak? I think you'll be surprised. Take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.